Greetings, I am Malik Poindexter, third year business administration student from Atlanta, Georgia. Today I'll be talking about cross-cultural management and how it affects the world today when it comes to managers and management in international and domestic work. So, to begin, the definition of cross-cultural management is a study of management in a cross-cultural context. It includes a study of societal culture on managers and management in practice, as well as a study of cultural orientations of individual managers and organizational members. So, the article that I'll be using today is an article that is written by Dr. Karen Schomer, who is the president of Change Management Consulting and Training, LLC. So essentially, what my article talks about is the difference between how American employees and employees in India are treated differently when they are taken to these huge high-tech hubs like Silicon Valley. So essentially, she goes through five different areas that are great challenges for they're great challenges, but they're also huge distinctions between the American employees and Indian employees. So those five things are management styles, job security and compensation structures, career development, performance evaluation, and motivational strategies. So with these, Dr. Karen, she goes through each of them and she distinctly identifies the difference between how Americans are treated and how this affects the motivation in the workplace ultimately. What she's trying to depict is how Americans are in the workplace may be given more leeway. They are given more self-guided and independent plans when it comes to self-evaluation, when it comes to their outlook, and when it comes to how they view themselves in the professional setting. Then in India, it's kind of a set path, and you don't really get to pick that as the employee. The employer picks what you're going to do when it comes to society and when it comes to that cultural piece, and that's what it goes back to the motivation in the workplace. So going back to motivation in the workplace, motivation is simply encouraging people to do different things. So when it comes to motivation in the workplace in the United States, they say dream big. They say on billboards, dream big. A lot of people ask, what do you want to be in life? When you go to other countries like India, China, it's not necessarily asked, to a child, what do you want to be in life? They're kind of just brought along and strung along into these cultures where it's mandated to go to school and it's not, optional to be mediocre and give these plans where you can decide how you're going to react in life. So, for example, when you're talking about the management styles, it talks about in the article that American employees react well to a boss who is friendly and professional with them and treats them as equals. Well, when you look at an Indian employer, that is not the same way, to where they don't look at them as a hierarchical way. The boss in an American employer doesn't look at the person who is lower than them in the hierarchy system or subordinate as someone who is on the same playing field. That's how America looks at them. India is not the same way. Even if we go look at performance evaluation, Americans are given, and they're given meet goals, and they say, let's meet this goal, let's meet in the middle. And when you look at Indian, they don't really look at it like that. They say, they may give you a surprise and say, this is how we're going to evaluate you. So the way and how I'm going to wrap this up is, I think what Dr. Karen and how globalization depicts cross-cultural management as and how it can be beneficial to the world is taking people's differences and making them into your similarities. If we can take the culture of America and the culture of India and make those into gelling into one big culture, it would not only be unstoppable, it would also be something that would be unprecedented in the times, especially when you're talking about high-tech employees like Silicon Valley, when working with high-tech companies like Apple, Google, Amazon, when you're in that high-tech hub where there's different cultures, but you're coming to form one big culture to form one big you know, to overcome one big evaluation, to overtake one goal.